Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most famous and beloved coins in American history, a coin that still sends chills down the spine of collectors every time they see it. I'm talking about the United States of America $quarter with the dual date 1776 to 1976, the beautiful bicentennial quarter. And let me tell you right now, the uniqueness, the rarity, and the special errors I'm about to share will make you look at this coin in a whole new light, so do not miss a single second of this. Imagine holding in your hand a small piece of metal that celebrates 200 years of American independence. This is not just a coin, it's a patriotic symbol, a little work of art, and in some cases, a ticket to serious money for the lucky collector who finds the right one. Now, when we talk about this coin, we have to appreciate the design. On the obverse side, you still see George Washington, just as you expect on a quarter, but on the reverse, that's where history comes alive. Instead of the usual eagle, you see the majestic colonial drummer, proudly standing with a drum in hand, and behind him a victory torch surrounded by 13 stars, representing the original 13 colonies. The dual date 1776 to 1976 reminds us of America's 2 centuries of freedom at that time, and every detail on this coin screams celebration and pride. This coin was struck in both copper-nickel clad for everyday circulation and special 40% silver versions for collectors, and here's where things start to get exciting. Many people never realized that some of these bicentennial quarters had errors, and those errors today are what make them worth far more than pocket change. Collectors hunt for off-center strikes, double dies where the lettering or design looks slightly doubled, and coins struck on the wrong planchet, which can give the coin a completely different weight and metal composition. Sometimes you'll even find weak strikes where parts of the design are faint, or die cracks that create unique raised lines across the coin. Each of these errors is like a fingerprint, no two are exactly alike, and that's why collectors will pay big money for them. If you're a collector or a coin finder, here's a tip: always check both sides of your 1776 to 1976 quarter under good light and maybe even a magnifying glass. Look carefully at the date, the drummer's face, the stars, and the edges of the coin. Sometimes the smallest flaw can be worth hundreds or even thousands to the right buyer. And remember, condition matters. The cleaner, sharper, and shinier the coin, the higher the value you can expect. Another tip for collectors: never overlook proof coins. These were specially made with a mirror-like finish for collectors and are often kept in pristine condition, but sometimes, even proof coins have tiny errors. If you find a silver proof with an error, you've struck gold in the collector's market, and auction houses love those. These bicentennial quarters have been sold in coin shows in New York, in big auction houses in California, and even in private collections overseas. Demand has only grown with time because people see them not just as coins, but as American history in the palm of their hands. So, my friends, if you've got a 1776 to 1976 $quarter, take another look at it, because it might not just be change in your pocket, it could be your next big treasure. And the most thrilling part: when it was first released, its original market value was just 25 cents. Top 2, we're diving into a modern coin that has already taken the collector world by storm. It's bold, it's historic, and it's got a story that will make every coin lover lean in and listen closely. I'm talking about the 2021 United States $quarter, crossing the Delaware. And believe me, once you hear about the rarities, the errors, and the insane demand this coin has, you'll never look at your change the same way again. This coin is special from the very first glance. It celebrates one of the most iconic moments in American history: General George Washington crossing the icy Delaware River in 1776. This was the turning point of the Revolutionary War, a moment of courage, strategy, and determination, frozen forever on a coin. The image shows Washington standing strong at the front of the boat, coat blowing in the wind, soldiers behind him, and the cold waters below. It's more than just metal, it's a moving piece of storytelling. Now here's where things get exciting for us collectors. 2021 was the only year this crossing the Delaware reverse design was minted. just 1 year. That means even though millions were made, the limited time frame creates a natural scarcity in the long run. And in the collector world, scarcity is gold, and let's talk about the errors that make these coins worth far more than face value. Some of the most desirable are double die obverse, where Washington's profile or the lettering looks slightly doubled under magnification. There are also off-center strikes where part of the design is cut off, creating a unique one-of-a-kind look. Some collectors have even found coins struck with die chips, where extra metal blobs appear in unexpected places like Washington's hat or the boat's edges. Each of these flaws turns a normal coin into a rare treasure. If you're a coin hunter, here's a tip: always check the date, the edge, and both sides under bright light. The smallest detail can turn your pocket change into a collector's dream. And pay close attention to the mint mark. These quarters were made at Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and certain mint marks in pristine uncirculated condition are already being scooped up by collectors who know their future value will rise. Another tip for collectors: don't overlook rolls of coins from banks. Many uncirculated, crossing the Delaware, quarters are still hiding inside wrapped rolls waiting for someone to find them. People who caught on early have pulled stunning mint state examples straight from circulation, and some of these have already been graded and sold for incredible prices at auctions in places like Texas and online platforms where bidding wars break out in seconds. This coin has something for everyone. History lovers, modern coin hunters, and error collectors all see the beauty and potential in it. It's not just about its design, it's about owning a piece of history that also represents a limited-run collectible. So my friends, next time you get a quarter in your change, look closely. If you spot Washington braving the icy Delaware, take a moment to check its condition and search for those valuable errors. You never know, the next big treasure could be sitting right in your hand. And here's the incredible part: when it was first released, its original market value was just 25 cents. Top 3, we are stepping back to a year that changed American coinage forever. A year where a small piece of metal became the bridge between silver and a brand new era. I'm talking about the 1965 United States of America quarter dollar, and trust me, you will want to hear every single detail because this coin can surprise even the most experienced collectors. Now, you might look at an old 1965 quarter and think it's just a piece of spare change, but this one has a story packed with history and hidden value. This was the very first year the U.S. Mint stopped making quarters in 90% silver and switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. It was a huge turning point, and because of this shift, the coins from that year became a focus for both history lovers and modern coin hunters. On the front, you still have that timeless image of George Washington, proud and steady, with the word "Liberty" above and "In God We Trust" by his side. On the back, the powerful American bald eagle perches on a bundle of arrows, wings spread wide, with olive branches below as a symbol of peace. It's a classic design, but 1965 made it special in more ways than one. This year has some of the most exciting mint errors in quarter history. Because of the switch in metal, a few 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. These are incredibly rare, and finding one is like striking gold in the world of coins. Imagine holding a coin that was never supposed to exist. That's the thrill collectors live for, but it doesn't stop there. There are off-center strikes where the design is shifted, creating a dramatic, one-of-a-kind look. There are double die errors where letters and numbers appear doubled when you look closely. Some coins even have die cracks, raised lines of metal from tiny breaks in the die, making each piece unique. And collectors absolutely love uniqueness. If you're a collector or just someone curious about the change in your pocket, here's a tip: always weigh your 1965 quarter. A normal copper-nickel quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, but a silver one will weigh slightly more. And if you find one, you've just uncovered a true rarity that can bring serious money at auction. Another tip: check rolls of quarters from banks, flea markets, and estate sales. People sometimes keep coins for decades without realizing their hidden value, and you could be the one to discover them. These coins have been found in collections from California to New York, and even at small-town auctions where bidding wars break out in minutes. The 1965 quarter is more than just a piece of money, it's the start of a new chapter in US coin history, filled with mystery, change, and a few accidental treasures that are now worth a fortune. So next time you see a quarter from 1965, don't toss it aside. Take a closer look, check the weight, inspect for errors, and you might just be holding a key to a serious payday. And the most amazing part, when it first came out, its original market value was only 25 cents. Top 4, we're going to talk about a coin that might be hiding right in your change, yet many people pass it by without even knowing its true potential. I'm talking about the 1983 United States quarter dollar, and if you've never taken a close look at one before, you might be about to discover your next big treasure. The 1983 quarter comes from a fascinating time in American coin history. This was a year when no official mint sets were produced for collectors, which means finding coins from this year in perfect, uncirculated condition is much harder than most other dates. That alone already puts this coin on the radar for serious collectors who know that scarcity drives demand. On the obverse side, we see that timeless portrait of George Washington, facing left with a look of determination, the word "Liberty" above, and "In God We Trust" by his side. Flip it over, and the reverse shows the proud American bald eagle, wings spread wide, arrows clutched tightly in its talons, with olive branches below, a symbol of both strength and peace. It's classic, it's powerful, and it's a design that never goes out of style. Now here's where it gets thrilling. The 1983 quarter has some incredible mint errors that can turn an ordinary coin into a high-value collectible. Some of the most sought after include double die obverse coins, where you can see doubling on the letters or date if you look closely. Others have off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, creating a unique look that makes collectors go wild. There are also dramatic die cracks, sometimes running across the coin like tiny rivers of metal, giving each one a one-of-a-kind personality. One of the most famous errors from this year is the spitting eagle variety. This happens when a die crack forms from the eagle's beak to its neck, creating the illusion of a line coming straight out of its mouth. It's funny, it's rare, and collectors absolutely love it. If you're a coin hunter, here's a tip: always examine the eagle closely under good lighting. Look for that little line on the reverse, check the date for any signs of doubling, and pay close attention to the edges for any signs of misalignment. The smallest details can mean the difference between pocket change and serious collector cash. Another tip for collectors: since there were no official mint sets in 1983, high-grade coins often come from original bank rolls or bags. If you can get your hands on untouched rolls from this year, you might find pristine examples that grading companies would rate very highly. And trust me, a top-graded 1983 quarter can bring intense bidding at auctions, from coin shows in Chicago to online sales that attract buyers from all over the world. The 1983 quarter is in high demand not only for its design and history, but also because so many were heavily circulated. That means clean, sharp, and uncirculated examples are far harder to find than most people realize, making them a true prize in the collector's world. So next time you get change back at a store, keep your eyes sharp for that 1983 date. Look for errors, check the condition, and you could be holding something that collectors are desperate to own. And the best part, when it was first released, its original market value was just 25 cents. Top 5 and last unique coin. We're going to uncover the secrets of a quarter that many people overlook, yet it can surprise even the most seasoned collectors. I'm talking about the 1990 United States of America quarter dollar, a coin that at first glance might seem ordinary, but once you know its hidden stories, you'll never look at it the same way again. This coin comes from a time when the Washington quarter design had already been in circulation for decades, but the 1990 version has its own special appeal. It features the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse, bold and proud, with the word "Liberty" above and "In God We Trust" by his side. On the reverse, the magnificent bald eagle spreads its wings, gripping arrows as a symbol of strength and olive branches for peace, a timeless design that connects history to our hands. Now here's where things get exciting. 1990 was a year with some truly fascinating mint errors, and those errors are what make certain coins from this year worth far more than face value. Collectors hunt for double die obverse examples, where the lettering or numbers appear slightly doubled when viewed under magnification. Others search for dramatic off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing, making the coin unique and instantly collectible. Some of the most unusual finds are die cracks, those raised lines caused by tiny breaks in the minting die, which can appear across Washington's face, the eagle's feathers, or even the lettering. And every die crack pattern is different, meaning your coin could be a true one-of-a-kind piece. If you're hunting for valuable 1990 quarters, here's a tip: check every coin carefully in bright light or under a magnifying glass. Look closely at the date, the mint mark, and the details of the eagle's wings. Pay attention to the edges, too, as misaligned or partial collars can make your coin far more desirable to collectors. Another tip for collectors: uncirculated examples from this year are getting harder to find because so many 1990 quarters saw heavy use in daily transactions. If you can find a high-grade example straight from a bank roll or an old coin jar that's been untouched for years, you could have something that will draw serious attention at coin shows and auctions. These coins have been sold at coin conventions in New York, in online auctions with bidders from across the country, and even in small-town estate sales where sharp-eyed collectors spotted treasures that others passed over. The demand is strong because these coins are part of the final decades before the state quarters program began, making them a popular target for full Washington quarter collections. So the next time you get change, slow down for a moment and check that quarter's date. A 1990 with the right condition or a rare error could be far more than just loose change in your pocket. It could be your next big find. And the most amazing part: when it first came out, its original market value was only 25 cents. If you enjoyed this coin adventure, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another treasure hunting story. We've got so many exciting coins to explore together, and who knows, your next find might just be the one that changes your collecting journey forever.